On Carolina Soil with Emily is sponsored by the following.
It's that time of year, soybeans are being harvested, and we are in Hurdle Mills with the North Carolina Soybean Producers Association to learn more about what's going into this process and the research for you as a consumer.
Well, we're out here with these soybeans and we're developing seed for farmers so they can grow the best types of soybeans for whatever commercial purpose they're doing. But the biggest commercial purpose is to feed livestock. So the pigs and the chickens that you buy the meat of in the grocery store, the terrestrial protein that feeds those animals is generally soybeans. And soybeans also provides energy to those animals, so that the sucrose and the proteins in those beans go into that animal nutrition diet, which gives you, the meat, the poultry and the pork and eggs, and even milk and beef products that you enjoy eating.
So I know, what is your role at the North Carolina Soybean Association?
So I'm the executive director of North Carolina Soybean Producers Association. And we're Producers.
Don't forget that.
We are the Farmers Association for the state. We've got over 8,000 growers in the state, growing beans in probably every county, certainly some more than other counties, but you can find beans in all 100 counties from the east to the west.
I know that the last few years has been very interesting from an economic standpoint. So how has that affected the soybean industry?
Yeah, with renewable energy and specifically renewable diesel fuel, that industry is going to call for vegetable oil to be a feedstock for renewable fuels. That includes renewable aviation fuel even, so not just for vehicles, but for planes, for jet engines. And the fact that it is calling for or demanding all that vegetable oil, well, soybean produces oil as well as protein to feed animals. 20% of the soybean is oil. And that oil is going to end up going into the energy industry. So it's really increased demand and it's increased the prices that the farmers receive. But on the other hand, the global events, we're all familiar with, it has driven up the price of things like nitrogen and the other fertilizer components, the soil nutrients, plant nutrients. So farmers at the same time, they're paying a lot more to grow the crop. So it's sort of a catch-22.
Right. I think that, looking back through this year and the interviews that we've done for On Carolina Soil, we have talked about inflation and, prices going up for the consumers. And they think that the farmers are making more money, but they're actually not.
I would say right now in North Carolina, we're actually losing farmers. We may be retaining the land, but fewer farmers farming it. It's survival of the fittest. And I know we're out here in the country, but urbanization has put a real pressure on this land. So the cost to either buy or rent this farmland is going up. And when you put all that together, it really makes it a tight margin. It's really hard to succeed in farming.
Well, where can people find more information about the North Carolina Soybean Producers Association?
Well, you can go to ncsoy.org. That's our website, northcarolinasoy.org, ncsoy.org. Or you can look for the American Soybean Association on the internet and check out just about everything you might want to know about sustainability, about markets, about all the different uses for the soybean.
And they can also follow you on Facebook, right?
Yeah, yes, they certainly can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, absolutely.
And if you follow On Carolina Soil with Emily, you'll find the North Carolina Soybean Producers Association. Thank you, Charles, for joining us today.
Glad you could be out here with us.
Join us next week on Carolina Soil with me, Emily, for anything and everything agriculture.
On Carolina Soil with Emily is sponsored by the following.